I think I'm done with breakup songs. I think I've had enough. They're just one person's biased take. We're all just dancing to propaganda. I was trying to think of some happy relationship songs, but they're also usually just from one person's perspective. There's some duets, but for the most part, it's just one person giving their biased take. I was in this hotel lobby and they're playing Frank Sinatra, and that guy was always happy. He's always singing about some happy fucking love shit. But you're only getting his side of the story. So he's just up there with his big band, and he's just like, look at me, can't you see I'm in love? But you never hear her with her friends being like, I feel suffocated, all right? I'm gonna break up with this guy, he knows the mafia. You know, you can't break up with a dude who's friends with the mafia. Should have been a his turn, her turn sort of thing. I would never have that confidence to sing about my love. With a big band, recorded and released. Without her there, I would want her perspective on it. If she were not there, I would hedge all of my bets. I'd be like, it's very new. We'll see, I guess. Like her, but very aware we're recording this, so haven't heard from her since 9 a.m., but it's only 1 p.m. Shouldn't need that much comfort during the day, just projecting past insecurities. The horns would still be confident, you know? It's nice being in a relationship, though. You can be more emotional and honest and all that shit. I had no practice with that growing up because I only had male friends growing up. I never had any female friends. And guy friends, we never talked about anything that mattered. It was just like sports or whatever. It's weird, a lot of my friends have known him 20 years. I don't know anything about them. I have this one friend, Jay, I don't know anything about him. I don't know his feelings, I don't know his race, I don't know. I don't know how to find out at this point. I just have to watch the next Olympics opening ceremony with him. See which flag he smiles at. Oh, Belarus. You don't talk about anything, but in a relationship you have to talk about shit, like you don't have a choice, right? Like it's drawn out of you. And now I get why, you know, sometimes you hear married men, they'll say about their wives sometimes like, oh, she's my best friend. But whenever I hear a guy say that, I think what he's really saying is like, I realized I never had a friend. I think she's actually the first person to ask me a follow-up question, or maybe even know what my eye color is. It's hazel. Apparently it's hazel. That's why it's nice having a female friend, even like an acquaintance, you know? Because like guy friends, you don't talk about anything, but a woman would be like, how you feeling lately? It's like, I think you're my emergency contact. I think you're the closest person to me in my life. I love you. Never leave. Some people are always in relationships, though. They just go from one to the next with no break at all, you know? Serial monogamists. Are any of you guys that? But you know the type I'm talking about, where like they date somebody for years and they break up and 2 days later start dating somebody else. I have a lot of friends like that, serial monogamists. I don't judge it. The thing I always find funny with serial monogamists is how much they always glamorize the 2 days that they were single. You know what I mean? They'll be like, you know what, I just really needed that time to myself to grow, become independent, you know? And look, I loved being single that Tuesday and Wednesday. I was ready to do that forever, you know? But then I met the next person I bumped into, and what was I gonna do? Not project all the meaning from the last person onto this one? That's no solution. Like, all right. Could also be alone with your thoughts for a second. Just me. I was talking to one friend, we were talking about what types we're attracted to. And my friend, he was like, I'm more attracted to women who are like naturally pretty, like without wearing any makeup. That's a thing you often hear men say, and you say it as if they say it as if they're being like down to earth or humble. But if you think about it, that's really the highest standard you get it for any person. Just to be like, look, I'm a simple dude, man. All I'm asking for is a face born perfect, all right? Like, what do you think of being picky? I don't need some, like, dolled-up Hollywood actress. I just want one of God's home runs. Is that so crazy? I don't think that's too crazy. Paint me a masterpiece. I've been getting emotional at weird times lately. I'm usually not an emotional person. I was setting up internet in my apartment. I started to tear up when I was answering the password security questions. Like, you know, if you forget your password, because they're all bringing back, like, strong nostalgia for me. They were just, like, asking shit I hadn't thought about in so long. It was, like, questions like, who is your childhood best friend? And I was like, Jesus, Brian Matthews. I haven't seen him in years. It was like questions like first pet. It was like name one safe space. Like, it got to the point of like, I don't even want internet anymore. I just want to like go home and hug my mom and ask her what her maiden name was because I am locked in. Do need Wi-Fi. I had to go to the DMV to get my ID renewed recently. I had to go fill out the form. Filled out the form, gave it to the lady behind the counter there, and she had my old ID also, and she was like comparing it, and she was looking at it, and she was like, "What's your height?" And I was like, "It's 5'8". And she's like, "Right, I'm just asking because your old ID said you were 5'9". So what happened? And I was like, I stopped lying to myself about being 5'9". I could be who I want to be. But it's weird. Then I realized you could just write whatever you want. Nobody fact checks it. You could just write a thing and they have to put it on there. You just make it up. Be who you want to be, you know? Have a real fake ID, you know? It's just a fun thought because if I died and they had to like ID my body, they would just be looking at it like, oh, this is a photo of him, but none of this shit adds up. It's like 6'6", piercing blue eyes. Under organ donor, it just says it's huge. Why does it say that?